another episode of Now Showing. I'm your host Abhijit Bhatt. अगर बढ़ते एयर पोल्यूशन को देखकर आप बोलते हैं AQI और मुझे देखकर बोलते हैं AQ आया तो मैं आया हूं टू कीप यू अप टू डेट विद द वर्ल्ड ऑफ एंटरटेनमेंट. साइकिल की चेन अगर करे आवाज तो उसमें लगाते हैं ग्रीस एंड वी आर हियर टू टॉक अबाउट सम रियली कूल recommendations and release. So without further delay, let's take a look at what's brewing on this week's edition of Now Showing. Yami Gautam delivers her career best performance in Hug, a story of a woman who changed the law by standing her ground. Mavav Kaul leads an investigation that blurs the line between horror and history in Baramulla, where the ghosts of Kashmir refuse to stay silent. Ayushmann Khurrana talks about the success of his latest big screen hit Thamma, his bromance with Varun, Dhawan, and working with director Sooraj Barjatya. And Hariharan explains why he dislikes the term independent music, shares the story behind forming colonial cousins with Leslie Lewis, and talks about singing Tu Hi Re in Hindi and Tamil.
Hey everyone, we have some very interesting releases this week. Talking first about the landmark legal battle and ruling in Shah Bano case is Haq. What should a woman do when the man she's loved, lived with and trusted decides to discard her like a malfunctioning appliance? That's the question at the heart of Haq, starring Emraan, Hashmi and Yami Gautam, a film that fearlessly takes on questions of identity, faith and justice. When Shazia Bano's doting husband Abbas suddenly brings home a second wife, her world collapses. Abbas, a lawyer by profession, has a strange quirk. If a cooker stops working, he buys a new one. His logic? Replace, don't repair. And very soon, he applies the same rule to his marriage. But Shazia refuses to be replaced. What begins as a fight for a mere 400 rupees in child maintenance spirals into a landmark legal battle. One that reaches the Supreme Court and forever changes the debate around Muslim personal law and women's rights in India. Director Supan S. Verma takes the real-life stories of Shah Bano, Bai Tahira and Fazloon Bai and distills them into a moving, thought-provoking film. Haq is not a summon. It's a conversation, a mirror held up to a society that often confuses faith with control. At its heart, though, this is also a father-daughter story. A feminist Maulvi father who fuels his daughter's courage to fight back with both compassion and conviction. One of the film's most powerful scenes is a verbal duel between Shazia and Abbas. She pleads, she argues, but never loses her self-respect. When she says, Quran padhne mein aur samajhne mein fark hota hai, you feel that line deep in your bones. Haq also dares to question the misinterpretations of talaq-e-biddat, meher and waqf, while showing how faith and feminism can coexist, even thrive in the same woman. The courtroom becomes a moral battleground. Dense legal arguments clash with raw emotions, and you, the viewer, become the silent spectator in a space where religion, law, and gender identity collide. Despite its heavy subjects, the film remains remarkably grounded. There's no melodrama, only conscience. Yes, the second half does lose a bit of pace, but that's the price you pay for nuance. Haq chooses silence over sensationalism, and that's its biggest victory. Yami Gautam delivers her career best performance, strong yet fragile, articulate yet aching. Her courtroom speeches don't sound like rehearsed dialogues, they sound like lived pain. And Emraan Hashmi, calm, composed, unapologetic, plays the flawed Abbas with remarkable restraint. Together, they are electric. What makes Haq special is that it doesn't create villains, it creates questions. It's politically charged, religiously rooted, but never preachy. And just when the storm settles, Shazia whispers, Ikra. Read, learn, understand before you judge, before you fight. Haq is not just a film, it's a reflection of conscience, courage, and conviction. Watch it, not for answers, but for the questions it dares to ask. When horror meets history and myth merges with memory, you get Baramulla, a film that's as gut-wrenching as it is spine-chilling. Aditya Dhar's voice as a Kashmiri Pandit finds a haunting echo in this tale that's equal parts political, psychological, and mythical. Back in 2016, Aditya Dhar penned a short story about the Kashmiri Pandit exodus, a human tragedy that scarred generations. That story, paired with Aditya Suhas Jambali's unflinching direction, gave birth to Baramulla, a film that dares to find horror not in ghosts, but in what humans do to each other. The year is 2016. DSP Ridwan Shafi Syed, played by the brilliant Mavav Kaul, moves to Baramulla with his family. Soon after, a young boy disappears during a magic show. And before anyone can breathe, a series of strange kidnappings grip the quiet town. But these aren't ordinary abductions. As Ridwan hunts down a suspected terrorist outfit, supernatural events start unfolding. And through these unearthly moments, the Syed family comes face to face with the ghosts of a Kashmiri Pandit family, victims of brutal violence years ago in the very house they now live in. Dhar and Jambale use this blending of the worldly and the otherworldly to make a sharp, fearless commentary on pain, guilt, and shared humanity. And here's the irony. It's a Muslim family that helps those Pandit souls find closure and vengeance. Baramulla doesn't sermonize, it reflects. It reminds us that radicalism spares no one, Hindu or Muslim, soldier or civilian, man or child. Everyone bleeds in the same red. At just under 2 hours, the film packs in multiple themes: faith, identity, trauma, politics, and surprisingly, it holds all together. We get an unfiltered look at Kashmiri psyche, how locals view militants, how they call outsiders Indians, and how they view men in uniform as kafirs. Cinematically, Baramulla is stunning. The grey palette, minimal lighting, and that air of quiet dread make the valley feel like a character itself. Cold, beautiful, and suffocating. This isn't your jump scare horror. It's psychological, political, and historical horror, all rolled into one eerie masterpiece. At a time when horror comedies and horrors are saturating the genre, Baramulla feels like a cinematic cleanse. It sticks to the genre's grammar, the flickering lights, the footsteps, the lullabies, but layers it with conscience and context. Mavav Kaul and Bhasha Sumbli deliver career-defining performances, raw, real, and utterly riveting. Their pain doesn't scream, it simmers. Even the child actors Arista Mehta and Rohan Singh bring depth and grit to the story of fear and faith. Baramulla is eerie, cold, and gripping, but it's also deeply humane. It makes you shiver, yes, but also think, remember, and reflect. If you're looking for horror that goes beyond jump scares and storytelling that's both sensitive and cerebral, then Baramulla is your pick. And trust me, it'll stay with you long after the credits roll.
you so much, Tavishi, for those recommendations. And moving on, Ayushmann Khurrana is on cloud 9 as his latest big screen outing, Thamma, joins the 100 crore club. My colleague Titash Chaudhary recently caught up with Ayushmann and got him talking about making the film, his bromance with Varun Dhawan, and teaming up with his brother Apar Shakti Khurrana. He also praises director Sooraj Barjatya for consciously staying away from the trappings of showbiz. Check it out.
Ayushmann, the last time we met, it was for Dream Girl, a film that had crossed 100 crores at the box office. The history has repeated itself with Thamma. What does this 100 crore club, this figure, mean to you personally, professionally?
It just means that the validation from public has come, and that's the biggest kind of validation for an artist. It is very gratifying, more than anything else, because you want to reach out to as many people as possible. And Thamma has reached out to those many people, so it's wonderful.
Absolutely. So I mean, this is something very different, which we haven't seen you in. At the same time, you are known to really push the boundary, experiment with your characters, with films. Do you think this kind of a success that Thamma has given you, it somewhere gives you the chance to push the boundary more, experiment more, or do you feel the weight of the pressure?
I think it's a good pressure. That expectation is a very happy expectation, that there should be an expectation from an artist. And of course, it's my biggest commercial film in terms of budget and everything and the release date. It pushes me more to do films that are off-center. It probably catapults those kind of films more. I firmly believe like a film like Badhai Ho really catapulted a film like Article 15.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a good symbiotic relationship between these genres, and it further makes me more brave and courageous to choose subjects which are rare and unique.
Thamma, interestingly, is your first Diwali release, right? And I mean, we have all grown up watching, big stars coming up, during Diwali releases. When you got to know that this is going to get a holiday release like that, was it a big validation of your stardom, if I may say?
Yeah, you've rightly said. I've only seen superstars coming on Diwali, and it was like a ritual in my family to watch a film during this festival season, and this time around it was my film, so it was a very surreal and overwhelming experience taking my family to theatres and watching my own film. So I think that was beautiful, and we got the opening also because it's a festival time and people want to watch films, and they accepted it, and I'm glad that happened. So I don't know, it was just another tick box to be ticked, and it has happened with me, and Thamma has been dhamakedar.
Yes, true. Let's talk a little bit about your association with the MHCU, which is the Mad Dog Horror Comedy Universe. Do you remember the first time you met Dinesh Vijan, and had this conversation that, okay, now I'm going to be a part of this universe? What was it like? Tell me.
This is my second collaboration with Dinesh Vijan. First was Bala.
Correct.
And also with Amar Kaushik. Amar Kaushik narrated like a one-liner to me of this film 4-5 years back during pandemic. That was before the release of 3-2, Munja and Bhediya, and we've been discussing on the subject since so long, and I was really excited, and they developed the script, and I was excited because the character was so different, and it was such a superhero-like demeanor of this character was very interesting, because I've never done a film like that. It was a transition from like a guy next door, which I've played in the past, and something which is fantastical and superhero-like.
Sure.
So it really intrigued me, and I'm a huge fan of this universe, Mad Dog Horror Comedy Universe. It's the best in Hindi cinema. So it's great to be part of this legacy, and I'm really looking forward to how these characters are going to cross their paths in future films.
Very interesting. The best thing, I think, this universe gives us audiences also the chances to see so many actors, coming together in one film. Like in this one, we had Varun Dhawan, we had Abhishek Banerjee. Would you say that MHCU is perhaps our answer to Hollywood in the way that it plays around with multiverses?
I don't know. I think we should not have this validation from the West, or no comparison should be made, because these stories are very Indianized, and we've been talking about Vikram Betal's the folklores of the year, and it's the chapter which has been taken from Vikram Betal, and this is a Genesis story, and there's no comparison as such, but I'm glad this universe is working like that. There is we are crossing each other's paths, different characters. The merger of characters is seamless. It's not forced. It's not a guest appearance. It will take the story forward. So that's the beauty of this universe, and that has happened with Bhedia coming, and coming in and having this fight sequence with Thamma, Betal. I think that's the best sequence of mine in the film.
Yeah.
And it's been widely loved by kids. So it was a very kid-friendly film which we made, and I'm very proud of it.
You know, there are certain things in the film that I would want to discuss with you. One being what you also mentioned is the way your character and Varun's Bhedia, they lock horns. Now, this was, of course, we did not expect. It came across as a surprise. Can you tell me a little bit about, your camaraderie with Varun on set? If you exchanged any notes, what was it like?
We started our careers together the same year, 2012.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Vicky Donor and Student of the Year. We made our debuts in the same year. So camaraderie is amazing. He's a great guy, one of the nicest in the industry, and we had this fight sequence, though it was a lot of bromance happening, when the cameras were cut. So I think it was a great choreography. The fight sequence was brilliant. It was loved by everyone, and it was also because of the chemistry between the characters, and we were very irreverent with each other while we were filming the sequence. And it shows on camera.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to exchanging more such sequences in future of this universe.
Yeah, you said irreverent. How
Yeah.
can you tell us?
Like the moment I see him, I call him, Vikas Puri ke Wolverine. So it's like having a local connect with Delhi, because
Right.
I wanted to use like a local area and describing him, and that was like a kind of an improv in the film. And he gives it back to me saying, "Saste coat wale, Sarojini ke saste coat wale Dracula." So
Yes.
I think that was a great banter happening between us. Then I tell him, overacting you kar raha hai. Then he tell me, kaun si overacting. So it was just so irreverent with each other. So you don't have to take yourself too seriously while doing such a
Absolutely.
scene. So that's when the fun comes out.
Right. And the second thing, Ayushmann, is the use of meta jokes. In this one scene, Paresh Rawal, who plays your father, tells you Ayushmann Bhava. And in another scene, Abhishek Banerjee looks at you and says that, oh, you are you big too?
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Yeah.
What did you make of this situational humor?
Bit 2 was the last minute inclusion. It was not there in the script, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that scene was written last minute, and Nirain Bhatt and I think it was Amar Kaushik or Jana, Abhishek Banerjee came up with this. And it was very difficult to keep a straight face, because I was like 1 bit 2, like with a straight face. So it was just so difficult. I think we took 2-3 takes, because I should burst out laughing when I heard that. So it was a great meta joke. I'm really looking forward to clash paths with my brother.
Yes,
in this
I was
universe.
coming to that.
I think that would be crazy.
Imagine we have Alok and we have Bittu.
Yeah.
And two very, let's not say weird, but different kind of people.
Different people, yeah.
But lastly, tell me, your upcoming lineup looks very, very interesting. You're going to be collaborating with a few filmmakers for the first time, including Suraj sir. What can you tell us? Anything?
It was part of my bucket list to work with Sooraj Barjatya sir. And he is a very noble man. I touch his feet whenever I meet him. So he gives that kind of vibe, and I want to give that energy back to him.
Yeah.
As a student of cinema. And the best part is he's a master of cinema, but he still believes he's a student of cinema, which is so beautiful. And he's away from all this circus around. He's a very simple man, and that simplicity and purity is very rare. After seeing so much of success, he's one of the most successful filmmakers in the country. He has actually like a 10 on 10 record at the box office.
That is true.
So it's very rare. So with that kind of success rate, to maintain simplicity and purity and vulnerability as an artist is very rare, and it's something which I also want to get inspired from.
Padma awardee and multifaceted singer Hariharan says he doesn't like the term independent music. In this candid chat with my colleague Vishal Chatkara, Hariharan talks about his new single, forming colonial cousins with Leslie Lewis and singing the Hindi and Tamil versions of the song Tu Hi Re from Bombay. Listen in.
Hari sir, many congratulations. You've been part of Bhumi. It's a passion project of Salim Suleiman, which completed 25 years. How would you like to describe your association with Bhumi?
With Bhumi, it's the first time I've sung something for them. But Salim and Suleiman, I've known them since they were kids. And they worked my first production in '96, Halka Nasha. They did the arrangement for that. And so ever since I've seen the way that they are passionate about their work and how they've come up in the field, it's very commendable. And what they are doing for, what do you call it?
The independent music.
The independent music, yeah. This independent music, it never comes to my mind because the term is not right. It's basically, you should say, music.
Your song with Leslie Rui keep trending on the internet. How this association happened? How the Colonial Cousins were formed, the group?
Colonial Cousin was formed. I used to sing a lot of jingles for Leslie during the 90s, 94, 95, 96. So one of the evenings, we were just waiting for some script to arrive and jingle, basically. And we were sitting in the studio and just whiling away time. So he picked up his guitar and started playing something. He started playing a riff. So after about 5 minutes, I couldn't keep quiet. I started singing, So he started playing a riff, and then he started playing harmonies, to which I was trying to construct a melody, just there and then, and like we were jamming. And then he said, "Yeah, we should do something about it."
So which was the first song you heard?
At that time, we did the first song was this Tanita Pamagarisa.
Give us
Something about the way you smile, I may never know the reason why. Sanita Pamagarisa. The other one, you tell me you'll tell, you tell me you love me, you tell me you want me to stay all right. Tell me, baby, do you really want my love and feel all right? Feel all right. That's another song, yeah.
You have grown up learning Carnatic music.
Huh?
Is there a current raga that you're practicing right now?
It's called Bahudari.
Is it different? Are the ragas different between Hindustani classical music and Carnatic?
Oh yeah, I mean there is different, so many ragas different in Hindustani and Carnatic, because the influences is where Hindustani has grown and from where Carnatic music are very two different.
What is the core difference then?
Planets. It's like there are thoughts in Hindustani.
Yeah.
There are Melakartas in 72 Melakartas in South Indian. इसमें आदि ताल है 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is very unique for basically Carnatic music. But यहाँ पे आपको एक ताल है, झप ताल है. So the signatures are different. The mathematics इसमें अपने South Indian में rhythm जो है, it is more of calculation.
Okay.
और यहाँ पे calculation है मगर कविता है, कविता के रूप में है. And also the ragas which have been created in both are very different.
What kind of advantage do you have when you sing on stage, knowing that you have mastered this Carnatic music? I've heard a lot of singers saying Hariharan के साथ हम stage पे गाते हैं, तो हम गाना शुरू करेंगे तो मीटर कुछ और है और हरि जी take it somewhere else.
ये क्या होता है ना, बताता हूँ मैं. When you know the grammar, you can play with it.
Okay.
So it is not only in Carnatic music you can improvise. In Hindustani, of course, there is so much of improvisation.
Yeah.
Khayal जो है ना, khayal is an genre which I've learned from my Ustadji Ghulam Usman Khan Sahab.
Okay.
We are from Rampur, Shahizwan Kara. The word khayal is imagination.
Okay.
तो एक लाइन को लेके हम 1 घंटा गाएंगे, आपको मजा आएगा.
कौन सी? Give us to
मतलब काश ऐसा कोई मंजर होता मेरे कांधे पे तेरा सर होता जमा करता जो मैं आए हुए संग जमा करता हूँ मैं आए हुए संग जमा 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 करता जो मैं जमा. ये क्या कहाँ से आया है? तो ये
नो वे.
हाँ, so, जमा 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 करता जो मैं. तो ये एक स्टाइल ऑफ सिंगिंग है.
And finally, sir, what are your memories of singing Tu Hi Re? How you back the song?
Nothing. I mean, they thought that I'm a different voice. I'd just been introduced by Rahman in Roja Janeman and Bharat Humko Jaan Se Pyara Hai. So they felt my voice was different to the other people. I mean, different from others. You know, like so they wanted to try. Uire was Tu Hi Re in Tamil.
So then, do you on your concerts sometimes sing both Tu Hi Re and Uire?
Yeah. Bilkul.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank
And jate, for the viewers of CNN News 18, would you like to please give us perhaps a medley of Uire, like Tamil and Hindi?
Tu hi re, तेरे बिना मैं कैसे जीऊं, आजा रे, यूं ही तड़पाना तू मुझको, जान रे, इन आँखों में बस जा तू, காதல் இருந்தால் எந்தன் கண்ணோடு கலந்து விடு, காலம் தடுத்தால் என்னை மண்ணோடு கலந்து விடு உயிரே.
And with that, we have come to the end of another episode of Now Showing. A.R. रहमान ने रोजा फिल्म में भले ही कहा हो दिल है छोटा सा, मगर आप अपना दिल छोटा मत करो, because we'll be back soon with some more amazing reviews, interviews and recommendations. Till then, this is me Abhijit Bhatt signing off. Stay filmy, stay fabulous.